Join me as I dive into this week's trading strategy and see if I can turn these charts insights into profits. Hey, what's up? I'm Tony with Real Life Trading. I've been a full-time trader for over 6 years and I specialize in bringing in consistent income through trading. I've also got thousands of hours of experience teaching others how to do the same. Every Monday, I make a video walking you through my strategy and game plan for this week on how I plan on paying my bills from the current market environments and key levels. Feel free to request a ticker review for me to go over next week. Just leave a comment, and the one that has the most thumbs up, I'll add to the list. Today, we're going to be covering SPY, Tesla, IWM, and my thoughts on Tesla might be a little bit different than you think, so let's dive in. All right, so let's start here with SPY. Man, what a gap on the markets. Markets are loving the potential deal done with China, but there is a but here. I am actually a little bit concerned in this area. It is possible that we go screaming to all-time highs very, very quickly, but the candle closures in this area for the next few days are going to be so crucial. If we get some blow-off tops, if we start showing bulls and then giving it all back up in this area, it could be very, very bad, because right now everybody is on the same side again. They are all back to being bullish. And what the markets love to do is they love to trap people. When everybody's in bearish, they go bullish. Now that everyone that was bearish is now exiting and everybody is starting to FOMO in on this gap. There's a huge gap up. Everyone's eyes light up and they go, wow, now I want to buy. If the bears are going to be here, they're going to be sitting right inside this box. And so any weakness in this area could cause a pretty sharp reversal. How low could this thing go? Well, I would say the very first area I'd be looking at is 550. 550 is a very, very important spot. That's going to start looking at the inverted head and shoulder potentially for this right shoulder to come back in and for us to go to all-time highs or higher. 550 is going to be a very, very good spot. So if 550 doesn't hold, then we have the gap fill down here around 530. If that doesn't hold, then we are heading all the way back down into like 480 or so on SPY. It could potentially go lower than that. It just depends on how this market's actually respond to the news. Remember, nothing is set in stone, really. It's all just, we'll see what happens type attitude. And anytime you have news like that of like, it's looking good, it seems good, you've got to be careful. So that is the bear scenario right here is, hey, bulls get all in and then they pull the rug. Very, very likely to happen. What's the bull scenario now? Well, the bull scenario would be strong closures. Now that we've claimed these lower highs, which is actually extremely strong for the bulls, now that we've claimed these lower highs, we need to close strong. The bulls cannot afford any weakness here. The issue with this is we've already made such a large move up that it does need to kind of rest. Now, we got a little bit of a rest last week, so maybe that's good enough. I would expect the bulls to hold 575 and 570 this week extremely strongly. So if the bulls are here, we'll get some sort of dips most likely. They should get bought up. So I'd be looking for 570 and 575 to hold very nicely here on SPY this week. If we start putting in lots of lower wicks and get strong closures, we could be moving to all-time highs very, very quickly. This should be extremely strong for the bulls. So whenever something should be something, they need to follow through. If it doesn't follow through, it tends to reverse very, very strongly. Just like down here, we had a huge gap down for the bears. The bears should have been very strong right there. They didn't. They faded it back up and it led to a big reversal in the markets. So we just have to be careful. Again, in trading, you've got to start thinking differently. You've got to be prepared for either scenario. So I am ready in case these bears step in. That will be some easy money because so many bulls will be trapped and it's going to be just a lot of selling across the board, which will make very easy drops. At the same time, if the bulls hold strong, then dips, in my opinion, in my game plan for this week, are going to get bought. I'll be planning on buying this dip if we can close strong for the next few days and then take this thing all the way back up to all-time highs. And so that's what I'm going to be looking for. Keep an eye out for those two levels there, 575 and 570 on SPY. It is going to be absolutely crucial. Let's dive on over here to IWM. So IWM is gapping up into a very strong resistance after a huge gap up. So I would think that the bears are actually going to fade this thing down here pretty quickly. It could run higher, but just know this red line is a 200 EMA. We're gapping right into it. We're gapping back into a very, very important key level here for the bears. A lot of bulls, again, are going to come stepping in on this. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see a little bit of a run this morning and then probably a move back lower. And then same thing as SPY, moving back into the gap fill around 204 makes a lot of sense. So we'll see if the bulls end up stepping in here. This is where they should be, and this is where your bear should be at. So we'll see which ones do what. But if you start getting some strong bull sentiment around 200, that would be some easy day trades, easy swing trades to the bull side with high probabilities. So look for a little bit of a pullback, and then we'll see if the bulls actually step in or not. If the bulls fail to hold $200 on IWM, then we're going to be heading down to some gap fills just like SPY and everything else. It'd be pretty weak if the bulls do not come in where they should, because this is extremely bullish. You'd want to see a lot of follow through. All right, so over on to Tesla. Tesla is getting a fantastic gap. Huge move up, almost up 8% here pre-market, but we again are gapping up into a very, very strong resistance. So if we were to zoom out here onto a weekly time frame, you're going to see that this is a monster resistance on a weekly. Yes, we're gapping just barely above it, which could be strong, but we've also got this 20 SMA. This dotted red line right here is the 20 SMA, and that's what we're gapping up into. Again, I would think that this gap will most likely fade back down throughout this week. It doesn't have to. Tesla does not like to pull back. So we're going to need a strong bull close today. We're going to want to see lower wicks. We're going to want to see very strong closures, and a candle looks something like that. That's what we're going to want to see over here on Tesla if the bulls are really going to run up. If they close strong in this area, the next spot to really keep an eye on is about 360 here on Tesla. So that's what I'd be looking at. Let's see if they can overcome this level of 330. This is a big options level. It's a big level overall for the bears. We'll see if they end up getting some sort of weakness back through. The higher probability is people jumping on this and it pulls back just like the market. So where should the bulls be at? 295. This is a great buying spot around 295 to 290 or so on Tesla. I like to make them box areas instead of a thin line. That way it's not like, oh, they should have bounced to 295 and it goes to 293 and then bounces, right? Give yourself a little bit of like a box area of like, this is where your bulls should be at. Keep an eye out for that level. Put alerts on your charts, put notes on your charts, so that way you're ready when it comes down there for day trades, swing trades, etc. This is where bulls should be lying after this gap up. It all is just going to depend on how strong we close, right? We get strong closures, you're going to start seeing orders lining up here for bulls. We get weak closures, you'll have bull orders here, but not as many in my opinion. So a weak close here is going to definitely be causing a little bit more selling, and then it's just a matter of, do the bulls step back in? We'll see. Strong closures solidify for the bulls that, hey, we didn't just gap up and hold levels, we claimed levels, which is a really big deal and a big difference is what I look for. Big money's looking for the exact same thing, and so I would imagine that a lot of entries are going to start going down, and then it's just a matter of waiting for it to dip and then making that easy money to the bull side. So that is my game plan for this week here on the markets. We'll see how they actually play out. I don't need to be correct. I just need to be able to set myself up where I can lose small and win big. So I give myself a bull scenario, I give myself a bear scenario, and then I wait and see which one plays out, and then I just simply ride that momentum. Make trading as easy as possible. And the best way to be able to do that is, number one, identify trend and momentum, and then apply your setup and your strategy to that momentum. That means if my strategy is telling me to go bullish, but I have bear momentum, I'm going to pass, and vice versa. I want to align myself and my strategy with that easy momentum. And if we can get strong closures bullish today or tomorrow on Tesla, we're going to have some serious bull momentum that should open the door for dips that should be getting bought up. If you are interested in learning how to do a little bit more of what I just talked about here, navigate these charts, trade successfully and profitably, that's what we specialize in teaching over at Real Life Trading. Check out the links down below for free trading courses and come join our community and trade live with us every single day. Thanks for your time, my friends. Leave a comment for next week, and the one that gets the most thumbs up, I will throw into the list for next Monday. Have a great week. Follow your plan and get some money coming in your life so that you can change yourself financially and start living the life of your dreams. Love you all. Have a great week. I'll see you.